Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Yes, everything for free. And you know what came out of our live stream today? We actually opened up the Loving Life online shopping area. You can go and buy the Big 5 t-shirts. You can even buy an EFF spoof hat with everything for free on it. That'll be coming up shortly. It's not actually listed on the shopping trolley yet, but it will be soon. And what I'm going to do down below, for the first time in the main channel, I am going to put a link to the Loving Life shopping area, and all the profits of that go directly to a Loving Life charity. All right, getting back to and excuse my quality EFF hat. It only lasted a couple of goes, and then the banner kind of fell off. I realized then it was a piece of paper stuck on it. But quality is what is quality. Now, I have to thank Hetty for sending me this very, very interesting article. Thanks, Hetty. It really is fascinating. And it's about the EFF, which is why I have my red beret on. It never rains but pours for the economic freedom fighters. Do you guys mind if I call them everything for free? I don't think you do. Or EFF. Fresh from the VBS scandal that had Parliament screaming, "Pay back the money," the EFF in Tshwane is facing a new 12 billion rand scandal. Yeah, we're not talking million, we're talking billion rand scandal. This is basically VBS times 6. The method of theft is the same as VBS, and how the Limpopo finances were collapsed through corruption by Julius Malema and his friends. Fighters! This is your Honorable Julius Malema speaking. Yeah, you know what I think about that. Yeah. Pog my horn, Julius. Look, you got to make a joke of it, otherwise you would cry, right? At the center of the Tshwane scandal is the city manager, Moketsi Masola, who is also an EFF man. As you may or may not know, the EFF doesn't officially enter into coalitions, but only controls the tender levers from a distance. This is true for many municipalities and metros where it has given the Democratic Alliance, or DA, political power. Masola was imposed on the city of Tshwane by the EFF. They also have their man as the CFO in the city of Johannesburg. In this way, they can get the EFF-aligned front companies to get tenders. You hear that? So, forget about BE. If you're not EFF aligned, you don't get the tender. Now, how corrupt is that? It must be remembered that when the Tshwane manager, Solly Msimanga, tried to suspend Masola for corruption, the EFF pushed the African National Congress, or ANC, to put a motion of no confidence against Msimanga. This forced Msimanga to back down and stop his attempts at suspending Masola. In Nelson Mandela Bay, Trollope simply refused to back down and he was removed. The 12 billion rand corruption in Tshwane has to do with a tender scandal associated with a company called Glad Africa Engineering. Remember On Point Engineering in Limpopo, where one Julius Malema had a sizable shareholding? The Glad Africa has somehow been given dominion over 12 billion rand tender. Sources say this whole thing was contrived by the EFF through bullying and threats, but now the whole scam has caught up with Masola, who is desperately trying to stop the tabling of a report that shows how deep the corruption around Glad Africa is. Masola has been approached by the courts Masola has even approached the courts in a bid to stop the report into Glad Africa from being handed to the council. The gloves are off. It doesn't look like the DA can continue to accept soft peddling around the EFF corruption in the metros. The DA's own political survival in national politics requires that it capitalises on the corruption of the EFF. The Reds are in a corner. They can no longer threaten the DA with motions of no confidence. The DA will now say the EFF has gone back to the arms of the ANC to continue corruption together. How does EFF explain the story of the better devil, if on account of accusations of corruption it seeks refuge in the same ANC it said was more corrupt than the DA? This means the DA will have free rein to enjoy the support of the EFF at metro level whilst walloping it in Parliament. It looks like Malema and Zili deal has come back to haunt the EFF. Masola has run to the Labour Court on an urgency basis to try to stop the tabling of a preliminary report which, as our sources say, shows that 12 billion rand was looted in similar ways to the VBS scandal. Masola has asked the Labour Court to stop the council to table the report and the matter be heard Thursday, the day scheduled for the tabling of the report on Glad Africa corruption. It looks like Malema will have to call another press conference and try to explain the story of the 12 billion rand tender fraud. He will also have to explain why he is opposed to suspending the city manager who is so deeply implicated in corruption. The corruption of the corrupt anti-corruption crusaders has come back to bite them during election season. Will the Labour Court give Masola and EFF a breather, or will the nation know the extent of the corruption in Tshwane this Thursday? Well, I for one am not going to hold my breath on this going any further. We know the justice system in South Africa is completely compromised. The people who are running the show are just completely incompetent and corrupt. And we know, for example, that the ANC put in 600 of their own men into the South African police service in senior management roles. Many of them had never worked in the police service before, but they were all ANC members on very high salaries. And that's why the South African police service right now is in a huge amount of disarray, because you got police there who've been working for 10, 12 years and they've been looked over because they're not members of the ANC. When it comes to the ANC and the EFF, it's basically the same party. Just this week, we had not only Ace Mashubela, or whatever that idiot's name is, the corrupt man from the Free State, but we had Ramaphosa appealing for Malema to come back into the fold and join the fold. And the reports of Malema saying he is one day going to be president of South Africa when he rejoins the ANC. So voting EFF is voting ANC. The whole thing is a ruse. They're all corrupt. They're all covering each other's asses. The whole society in South Africa is completely stuffed. I don't know what the way out of this is. But, we talked on the live stream earlier today about the impact that BEE and BBBEE is having on thousands of businesses in South Africa. It's absolutely huge. I'll link to that live stream that we held so you can hear for yourself. All right, guys, please have a great day. And look, just the beginning of that live stream, the audio is bad, but if you just fast forward a little bit through it, you'll see that the fellow I'm talking to, his peer, changes his headset and then the audio is perfect. So don't worry about the first few minutes, probably 7-8 minutes of the live stream. Just go to that next section and then you'll hear the discussion perfectly. All right, and I will also put a link down to our beautiful new online shop. And I have to, in closing, tell you one thing. During the live stream, it was suggested that the EFF spoof hat that we are going to be producing, some of these hats be handed out for free. Everything for free, see? So it was decided, and Dwayne is setting this up, that if you order one of these spoof everything for free red beret hats, every 15th order, well, with every order you'll be given the option of buying another spoof hat. And there are going to be several, including the old fart, which is me. But if you're the 15th order, with your everything for free red hat will come the hat that you selected. Free! So it's a bit of a special. But the actual, you got to wait till the hats actually go up. They're not up there yet, but the T-shirts are there, and people are ordering them right off the shelf. They're going really fast. And so are the mugs. We got our mugs, our Loving Life mugs, and our Loving Life Big 5 T-shirts up there. So please check them out. And in closing, here is a related video.
Those who are in the EFF back, in the ANC, because the ANC is their home.
And I remember Comrade Julius saying, my blood is green and gold. My blood.
We would love to have Julius Malema back in the ANC.
I'm going to do my best to request him coming back home.
He is still ANC, down deep in his heart.
The ANC has not been hostile to us. The ANC has not been engaged in violent activities against us. We will listen to him.
I can tell you today, you must put it on the archive so that when it happens, you can replay it. I'm going to lead the ANC.